It is said that when God began creation, the first thing he ever said was, "Let there be light." And then there was light, and he could see everything. So that is a great lesson for you, especially when you are creating 3D worlds. Because if there is no light, then your renders will look like this. Now all the light from your light source is going to lighten up the objects that you created. The way in which light will interact with the object will depend on the material of the object. So for example, if your object reflects blue light, it will appear blue. If it reflects red light, it will appear red. If it lets light pass through it, it will appear like plastic or glass. It will be transparent. If it reflects all the colors of light, it will appear white. And finally, if it doesn't reflect any kind of light, it will be black, just like a black hole. You can't really see a black hole, you can just see the light around it. In our case, the way in which light will interact with all these objects will be calculated by something called the rendering engine. So if you want to make a material, you're gonna have to tell the rendering engine exactly what kind of material it is in a language that it understands. So let's say you want to make a red plastic material. The conversation will probably go like this. So from the above example, we understood that the rendering engine does not understand the materials in the way we look at it. For the engine, a material can be broken down into specific values for specific attributes. For example, your color, your metalness, your roughness. So each material is a combination of different values of those attributes. But it is pretty much a template. So let's say we rename this template to something more convenient like principled shader. So we are gonna be referring to this entity as a node. Like this node, each node will have its inputs and its outputs. And you can plug in the outputs of other nodes to the inputs of this node. For example, some values or some image textures or some normal maps. And then finally connect the output of this node to the final output or the material output. That's it. You will have your material. Simple, isn't it? So why don't we go ahead and try this in Blender itself.